My dearest mother, I hope this letter reaches you before the cold settles too deeply at home. Here, the cold never truly leaves. It clings to the mud, to the canvas, to our boots, and even to the bandages we wrap around men who arrived warm only hours before. You asked what my days are like. I hardly know how to answer, because the hospital does not keep time the way the world used to. There is only the rhythm of trains and stretchers now. You hear the trains before you see them, the grinding wheels, the hiss of steam, and then the doors slide open and the smell comes with them. Wet wool, earth, blood, cordite, and sometimes the sharp, sickly sweet scent of gas that clings to their uniforms even after the masks are gone. That smell stays in your throat long after the men are carried inside. They come in rows, some shouting, some whispering for water, some already too quiet. Mud cakes their uniforms so thickly it cracks when we cut it away. Sometimes the mud hides wounds we don't see until the cloth falls open, and the truth of it is there in front of us. We do not ask their names first anymore. We mark them. Those who can wait. Those who must be taken straight to the surgeons. And those we try not to look at for too long, because we know we cannot save them. They call it triage. It sounds like something orderly, but there is nothing orderly about deciding who receives time and who receives morphine. The tents are never silent. There is always the rasp of breathing, the clatter of instruments dropped into metal trays, the low murmur of doctors giving instructions, and beneath it all the sounds the wounded try not to make. Some injuries you can prepare yourself for, others you cannot. Last week, one man was brought in with his leg shattered from the knee down, the bone splintered so badly that the boot had collapsed around it. He kept apologizing while we cut the leather away, as though the inconvenience were his fault. Another had been buried by a shell burst. When we cleaned his face, the mud came away in thick, dark streaks, and only then did we see the cuts beneath it, raw and packed with dirt. He kept asking if his brother had made it out. No one knew. The gas cases are the hardest to bear. They arrive coughing, their uniforms damp where they tried to wipe their eyes. Some can barely see. Others breathe in short, frantic pulls, as if the air itself is refusing them. You do not forget the sound of someone drowning while still standing on solid ground. We wash their faces, loosen their collars, try to keep them upright, because lying flat makes it worse. Sometimes they grip our sleeves so tightly, their fingers leave marks long after they are gone. And the smell. Not just blood, but iodine, damp canvas, unwashed wool, and that faint, metallic tang that hangs in the air whenever too many wounds are open at once. I thought I would grow used to it. I have not. Still, there are moments that remind me we are not only surrounded by suffering. Yesterday, a young soldier insisted on writing his own letter before the surgeon would take him. His hands shook so badly he could barely hold the pencil. But he said he wanted his mother to see his handwriting, not someone else's. I helped steady the paper while he wrote. He finished only a few lines, but he looked relieved when he handed it to me, as though that small act had anchored him to home again. That is what I have learned here. That courage rarely looks like the stories people tell. It is quieter than that. It is the orderly who goes back out into the rain for another stretcher. It is the surgeon who keeps working, though his sleeves are already stiff with dried blood. It is the nurse who pretends not to notice when her hands start to shake. Sometimes it is simply a man holding on long enough to say goodbye. Do not worry for me more than you must. I am tired, yes, and there are nights when the lamps burn low and I feel as though the whole world has been reduced to canvas walls and the sound of breathing in the dark. But I also know this work matters. If I can ease even one person's pain, if I can help one man live long enough to see his family again, then I understand why I am here. At night, when the trains finally stop and the ward grows quieter, I think of home, the smell of bread, the sound of your voice in the kitchen, the way the morning light falls across the table. It feels impossibly far away. But it is what I hold on to. Your loving daughter and Eliza.